Hello, my name's Maven, and welcome to Narc Free Maven. Thank you for joining me this evening. This is a calm and supportive space for people recovering from narcissistic abuse, emotional manipulation, and confusing relationship dynamics. If your mind's been racing, if you've been replaying conversations or trying to understand behaviors that never fully made sense, then I hope this video helps you feel a little bit more grounded tonight. Someone recently asked me this question. Why do I still want the narcissist's approval, even after everything that's happened? This question can be deeply frustrating for many survivors, because logically you may understand that the relationship was unhealthy, but emotionally, part of you still may feel that the need to have their validation is important to you. Many survivors notice this feeling long after the relationship ends. You might catch yourself wondering, what would they think about this decision? Would they finally respect me now? Would they ever admit that I was actually right? Even when you know their opinions should not matter anymore, the desire for their approval can still appear. This experience can make people question themselves, but this reaction is actually very common after narcissistic relationships end. One reason this happens is that narcissistic relationships often create a pattern of intermittent validation. At times, the narcissist may be able to give you praise and affection and attention. In those moments, the approval may have felt extremely rewarding, but those moments were often unpredictable. Validation might appear briefly, then totally disappear. Criticism might suddenly replace it. Because the approval was inconsistent, it became more emotionally powerful. The mind begins working harder to earn that positive response again. Over time, this created a strong desire to gain the approval of that once moment that felt meaningful. It's a pattern that develops within survivors very often. Even after the relationship ends, the pattern just continues to still linger. And in my case, longer than I thought it would. Many survivors eventually realize that they are not simply seeking approval. They were trying to resolve an emotional imbalance created during the relationship. The narcissist may have repeatedly made them feel as if their value depended on earning validation. So when the relationship ends, the mind sometimes still wants to finish the story, to prove worth, to receive acknowledgement, to hear the narcissist finally admit they were wrong. But in most narcissistic relationships, that moment rarely ever comes. And understanding this can be a very important step to healing. One of the most empowering parts of recovery is learning to shift that need for approval inwards, instead of waiting for validation from someone who is unable to give it consistently. Many survivors begin learning to trust their own judgment again, their own perceptions, their own self-worth. And this process doesn't happen overnight. But with time, the need for the narcissist's approval usually begins to lose its hold, to lose its grip. And many survivors discover that the most meaningful validation comes from within themselves. If you find yourself wanting the narcissist to understand your value, please know that many survivors experience the same feeling. It is often a natural response to a relationship where validation was used as a form of control. But over time, that need can fade. And your self-worth can become something that no longer depends on someone else's approval. And that's a great thing. Thank you for listening. Again, I'm Maven from Narc Free Maven. My goal with these videos is to create a calm, steady space for people healing from narcissistic and emotional abuse. A place where your mind can slow down, your nervous system can breathe, and you can begin finding clarity again one step at a time. If this video brought you even a small sense of comfort or peace tonight, I invite you to subscribe and click the notification bell so you can be reminded whenever a new calming ASMR recovery video is uploaded. You don't have to figure everything out at the time. Just focus on taking care of yourself, one moment at a time. Until next time, be gentle with yourself, breathe deeply, and remember, clarity changes everything.